Today we are talking about Carnival Corporation, maybe the most discussed stock currently on the stock market because it was really heavily hit like the whole cruise line sector. The stock went out of shape with 75% as of this recording, but there's much more to the stock which we will talk about, but also the Saudi involvement. We will talk about the dividend, we will talk about the future of the stock, and we will see if Carnival Corporation is investable. So stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell and also smash for the algorithm. But let's talk about this stock first. The stock went down from about mid of Jan, where it was still at $51, $52 per share, now down to 12.7 as of this recording. And the last days were quite volatile, but over and all, it lost 75% of its value. Now, people are thinking, hey, I will jump into this stock because the stock in the last week made about 12%. And in the last month, since the recent lows, we did even 47% or 45%, right? But that's dangerous. First of all, stocks don't have like a memory. So they don't know that they were at 50 before, and it's not a chance that they go back there. It's all about what will happen to the company. Don't forget that stocks are part of a company. And this stock of Carnival Corporation seems to be quite interested. Though it's one of the biggest cruise line companies out there, they are also one of those that has, you know, not that much debt and could raise a couple of billion of dollars. But we will dive into the financial situation in a bit, because there's one very strategical partner that just jumped on the ship. Saudis are known for their wealth, and now, as you know, everything goes for the cent on the dollar, these guys are shopping. The public investment fund is in a portfolio size of about $300 billion, and they started to buy into Carnival Corporation. I think there's two reasons. First, I think at some point of time, in near future, maybe in a couple of months, maybe just in 1 or 2 years, cruise lines will follow the business. So there will be a continuous of the business at one point of time. Secondly, you have to understand that Saudi Arabia currently opened its country for tourism, and therefore a strategic partner and investor. As an investor, Saudi Arabia could influence for Carnival Corporation to have more and more ships coming to Saudi Arabia and to help the tourism sector. And therefore it's like a win-win situation for Saudi Arabia, and it's something like a cheat code inside the video game with unlimited ammo. Because if Carnival Corporation would need to finance a little bit more, like a year or two, there would be the Saudis that could put more into this investment if needed. So apparently they raised about $6 billion that they will need for the further operation. If they restart at 3Q4, then they maybe are able to burn only $2.2 billion per year, which would be, you know, 3 years of an basically very good cushion that they would have now in cash money. But I believe that, you know, if they pick up further or faster, then they can subsidize this debt, and that it's about $12 billion, and the cash burn with revenue that is coming in. And the CEO of this company just came on CNBC and said that the bookings for 2021 are still strong.
You know, our industry voluntarily and temporarily canceled the cruises even before there was a CDC no sail order that came out the first time. And we originally had took a pause in cruising through middle of April or so. And since then, a number of us have already extended it, and the CDC updated their no sail order, which was the earliest of three things, one of which included a 100-day postponement on sailing. So we'll see how all that plays out. It could break earlier. We'll just have to wait and see. But the number one priority for us is to be in compliance. We sail globally. There's lots of jurisdictions that are looking at social gathering. And when social gathering is acceptable again and people feel that the risk is manageable, then we can look seriously at cruising again.
So it seems as soon as we have a solution to all of this, cruise lines will continue their business. Let's talk about government bailouts. Now, there is some rumors that maybe the government will not save cruise lines because of one reason. They were or are in tax paradises most of the time and don't pay that much taxes. And therefore, why the US government should help companies that don't pay taxes with tax money, right? So in the end of the day, we should see how everything developed, because you have to also understand that below the cruise lines, there's many small and medium companies that serve the cruise line industry that are dependent. And if then Trump and co want to save those companies, they have to support the cruise lines. Carnival Corp is also known for its dividend. They were a good dividend payout company, but now forget about the current ratio on the dividend yield, because they stopped to pay dividend. And therefore, don't go inside Carnival because of its dividend as of now, because they're not paying. And therefore, if you consider something that is paying dividend, then maybe go for something else, because as you can see, the dividend is not secured in difficult timings. But if everything rolls out again, they are paying even dividends of 6-7%. So if they continue to pay those dividends, then you should maybe think about to go on board. Finally, let's paint a picture for the future. Now, if everything goes well, then at one point people want to travel more, because they have seen and will more appreciate how we live now in isolation, and this gave us mentally a little bit of a hard time. You would totally agree. Now, think about what will happen when everything rolls out. Now, hotels will be totally packed and booked. Flights will be totally packed and booked, and very expensive, both of them. So what's the third option of American people and other European people or Asian people that want to go on a nice, easy vacation, everything organized, everything entertained? Now, and there comes the cruise lines. And this is an entertainment and travel option since many century years, and therefore I believe that this isn't going away in the future. Who will really survive in the end? Also, Carnival is a speculation. I believe that now the Saudi on board and the whole booking strongness from the 2021 booklet, I think this gives us a little bit of security, but I think that still we have a huge risk, and we don't know how this plays off and how long does it take. This is the biggest factor. If this will take 2 or 3 years, which I don't hope, but if it takes so long, then we are very endangered in the cruise line business. And therefore I believe that you have to watch it closely. You watch the news, you watch the developments, and dollar average into the stock if you are interested to buy this, because in the end you will see that we cannot predict the short term of a stock. We don't know if the stock of Carnival will go up, down, or will make a freaking looping. We have no idea. Nobody can tell you that. So if you average over the next couple of weeks and months, you will have the best average price. And long term, if it goes up, you will be happy. If it goes down, you will not be too sad, because remember, losings is very hard on our human brain, even bigger effect that winning has a positive effect.